Good morning, everyone. We are in the fall, October. The weather is changing, it's getting cooler, and it's time to look after the garden, get it ready for winter. So what I'm trying to do right now, just do a good tidying up and prepare the garden. Like I'm chopping all these dry flowers. They've seen better days. So before next year, so my garden will be nice and clean and tidy, and it's time to collect seed as well. So as we're going to go around the garden, we're going to do a great job. So stay with me. Let's cut some trees. Hey guys, just a few flowers here. I just want to collect them. They're so beautiful. So I can put them in my little pot. And all this is going in the recycling. In my compost, I use them. So by the time next year comes, they're all going to be crushed and become good soil so I can use back in my garden. So we don't throw them away. We keep them and put them in the compost. And those zinnias here, they need to go, but there is a lot of dry seed here which I've collected. Okay, I'm going to pick one and I'm going to show you. Okay, yeah, I found a dry one here. So what we're going to do, we're trying to get some seed. As you could see here, this is the seed. Yeah, we've got a few here. So if they're not dry enough, what you could do, you could pick them up and you could just put them in your garage, get some air, or leave them outside. So yeah, it's still a little bit green. It should be a bit darker. So just an example, like this one is the best one here. But you can leave them to dry and keep them. Look how many seeds. I mean, there would be loads in there. I've got 3, 7, 8, 10 just in that little bed. So what I do, I just pick that and just leave it in a tray somewhere nice and dry, and you will get the seed for next year. You collect them. This is an old carpet I had and I don't need them. I thought it will be so good for my garden. I've spread it here on my flower bed because the main reason I've put that because of weeds, and this will block the lights and during winter, and actually for next year all the weeds will be gone, will be dead, hopefully. And the second reason as well, if I lift this here and I show you, you see how moist this soil here, and that would help the worms, and as it gets quite moist and soggy, and it will just protect the soil, and it will be so good for next year, so full of and worms and lots of creatures to help the soil for next year, so we'll have good harvest. Just finish off all my harvest. There's a lot of harvesting to do before the frost come and before the cold come. So I'm going to go around and just do a bit of harvesting. Oh, beautiful. Oh, mamma mia, love it. Oh man. Smell beautiful. So I'm cutting all these herbs and I'm putting them in a zipper bag and put them in the freezer. So which is a perfect way to store all your herbs, and if you need to use them, just fresh, and don't wash them. If you do wash them, make sure they're dry because you don't want them to get moldy in the freezer. But they're clean, it rained, and they're nice and clean. Just give it a good shake in the bag like that, zip it, and in the zipper and in the freezer. So just a perfect way if you don't want to dry them, and yeah, and it still tastes beautifully. I have the superpowers to speak to plants, make them grow, bear fruits, and eat them. No, I don't. It's the earth. What you put in there, that's what you get. That goes with the word of God. What you put in your heart, that's what comes out of your mouth. And the word of God said, there is power in the tongue. You could either speak life or death. So, what are you putting in your heart today? Is it hatred, bitterness, anger? Or are you putting kindness, love, compassion, and helping others? That's something you need to ask yourself. Because when we put all these things in our hearts, a good thing, the word of God, and it will show in our words, in our behavior, in our action, the way we treat others, the way we speak to others. So today, make a decision to put the word of God in your heart so it can manifest beautifully. Wherever you go, be a light to who you meet. And if you love garlic like me, this is the time to plant your garlic, because for next year you will have a beautiful harvest. So here I've got the soft neck. All I'm going to do is dig a hole, leave it in there, and let nature do the work, because garlic like the cold weather. Once the cold weather come, and that's where it next year is spring come and it start to come out. So I'm just going to do my garlic. Yeah, I had those strawberries in the pot hanging on my hanging basket, and they will survive the winter. So I'm just going to put them in the ground so for next year. And you could see here these dangling here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this off. Yeah, and I'm just going to plant them here in the soil, beautiful soil here. And next year I will have beautiful, beautiful strawberries. So, and if you have some in the pot, don't throw them away. They're going to survive. Yeah, and just leave them here.